You're watching HFO-TV.
Welcome back to HFO-TV. I'm Eric Kirk-Douglas, Marketing Director at HFO. With me today is Kyenne Williams, City of Portland's Multifamily Waste Reduction Specialist. Welcome, Kyenne.
Thank you.
And the topic of today's segment is how to educate your renters about recycling. The first question, does the City of Portland have educational resources for owners or managers of multifamily buildings?
We have a whole menu of materials. We have brochures in 6 different languages for tenants. We have magnets that can be put on the refrigerator or in a utility room to remind folks of what goes in. We have bilingual door hangers that people can use as an annual reminder. And then we have signs for indoors and outdoor area collection sites. So we have lots of actual things that people can read and look at. We have a property manager guide for folks who want to be successful in reducing their waste and garbage and recycling in their buildings. We also offer a couple of different kinds of technical assistance to folks as well, where we come out and do a site assessment and make sure that things are set up in the best, most efficient way to encourage good recycling. We will do knock and talks and go door to door and answer people's questions about recycling, because a lot of people have questions and they're very shy of asking them, particularly in a large group. And we also do presentations to like monthly meetings for residents or homeowners associations.
Oh, great. Okay. How would an owner go about accessing those resources and your help?
They would call me. We have a multifamily landlord resource line that is 503-823-7224. And we have a really great website at portlandoregon.gov. All you would do is enter multifamily in the search engine, and it would bring you page after page after page about recycling and food composting and how to select a garbage and recycling company. I can also be emailed at multifamily@portlandoregon.gov. Okay. And finally, you have a great partner in the garbage and recycling company that you select. Okay. As a manager, they can answer questions, they can refer you to us. They partner with us for an annual outreach. And when in doubt, we always tell people call Metro, the 503-234-3000 number. If somebody wants to know where something goes in terms of recycling, they're great.
Okay. What's the number one thing people put into recycling that causes a problem or can't be recycled?
I almost want to ask you to guess, but it's consistent. It's not just multifamily. Wherever you go, it's the same item.
Plastic bags.
Plastic bags. There's a huge distinction between something that can be recycled and something that can be recycled at home. Mm-hmm. And I think people confuse the two, and they think there's a lot of wishful thinking about, if I put it in, they'll take care of it. And well, no, we won't. What it does is it jams up the sorting machines where they recycle paper to make new pulp. And so it's the biggest problem we have. And most people are aware that they can take them to a grocery store or to a recycling depot and drop them off.
Okay. What are some other challenges at apartment properties for recycling?
I would say that the biggest ones, the thing I hear most from property managers, would be bulky waste. It's when people move in or out and they leave furniture and mattresses. At holiday times, it's the computer monitors and the old TVs. And the problem is they can't go in the garbage and they can't go in the recycling. And so property managers are left with obstacles and a pretty consistent problem in disposing of those. The best thing that they can do is educate people from the beginning that this is not allowed, and where they, the resources that they can use to find an appropriate place to dispose of these things.
Okay. How does a multifamily owner or manager get residents to recycle correctly?
There are 3 simple, easy steps. You have a clean, well-lighted, well-signed collection area that has garbage and recycling next to each other, so it's convenient for folks. So they only have to make one trip. Signage is really essential. Having the garbage and recycling company put stickers on the containers so people can see clearly what material goes in there. So it's education and then opportunity and setting a norm that this is an expected behavior for folks.
We know that recycling is really popular here. So what if the recycling containers seem to always be filled and overflowing? And if there's no more room for containers, what can an owner do about that?
Well, there are a couple of different approaches I would suggest. I don't want to immediately jump to you need more frequent service, which often is the issue. If you've got a limited space and you've filled it to the maximum with the containers and people are doing it correctly, in other words, there's not cross-contamination, it says to me that you have an abundant amount of stuff that needs to get to the right place, and there's simply, if there isn't enough room, then it needs to be collected by the company more frequently. There are there are smaller places where folks are literally having their recycling picked up every day.
Okay, great. Some of the sorting requirements can feel a little bit complicated, especially if you don't speak English. So what's the way to communicate recycling rules in those situations?
Use the resources we have. We have materials in 6 different languages, English and Spanish, Somali, Russian, Vietnamese, and Chinese. And we have cultural partners who will work with us to work with specific communities. The other thing we can do is keep it simple. People want to recycle everything, and like I think I stated earlier, most things can be recycled, but just not at curbside. So we have a mantra, when in doubt, keep it out. If it's not clearly pictured on a magnet or on the educational resources we provide, don't put it in there. Put it in the garbage. I know you want to do the right thing, but unless you have the means to take it to another site, like one of the recycling depots, when in doubt, don't put it in there, and that'll make it a lot simpler.
Okay. Well, that's all the time we have for now. Thank you, Kyenne, for joining us this afternoon, and we'll see you next time on HFO-TV.
Thanks for watching HFO-TV. To learn more about HFO, call or visit our website. See new listings, apartment news, videos, and more when you download our apps at the Android and iPhone markets.